come back here next week for more energetic pop music right here on Cool FM. Mapapakool ka dito. Lahat ng drama, lahat ng tawanan, lahat ng iyong all-time hits. Ang tanging huntahan ng Masang Lamaw. Number 1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGON, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan. Cool FM. You are listening to Cool FM, live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at Noon.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Cool News at Noon. Let's get into the headlines. Satisfaction with President Ferdinand Bongbong R. Marcos Jr.'s performance dipped in March but started recovering in June based on the Social Weather Station survey. In a report dated August 1, Social Weather Survey said Marcos' net satisfaction rating was at positive 20 points in March 2024, down 27 points from the positive 47 score that he got in December 2023. It bounced back up, however, to 27 positive based on the survey conducted by SWS from June 23 to July 1st. The net satisfaction rate for June 2024 was the aggregate score obtained as 55% of respondents interviewed said they were satisfied with Marcos' performance, while 28% were dissatisfied and 15% were undecided. The National Social Weather Survey of June 23 to July 1st, 2024 found 55% of adult Filipinos satisfied, 15% undecided, and 28% dissatisfied with the performance of Ferdinand Marcos Jr. as president. Compared to March 2024, gross satisfaction with President Marcos rose from 50%, gross undecided fell from 19%, and gross dissatisfaction fell slightly from 31%, SWS said. The resulting net satisfaction rating is positive 27, classified by Social Weather Survey as moderate, positive 10 to positive 29. This is a 7-point increase from the moderate positive 20 in March 2024, following a decline from the positive 47 in December 2023, it added. Still, Marcos' score for June 2024 were significantly lower compared to the positive 58 he got a year ago or in June 2023, and his highest ever net satisfaction rating of positive 68 in December 2022. Satisfaction among respondents was highest in Balanced Luzon, with 60% saying they were okay with Marcos' performance, followed by 57% in Metro Manila, 55% in Visayas, and 46% in Mindanao. Dissatisfaction was high in Mindanao at 41%, followed by Visayas at 28%, Metro Manila at 20%, and Balanced Luzon at 28%. Marcos' rating was lower compared to what his two predecessors got during the same time period. Former President Rodrigo Duterte, in his second year in office, got a positive 45 score in June 2018, whereas former President Benigno Aquino III got a positive 42 net satisfaction rating in May 2012. SWS, 9% of respondents said they expect Marcos to fulfill all or nearly all of his campaign promises. 17% said that Many of the promises will be actualized. 48% said only some would be fulfilled, and 23% do not believe the president's objectives will be attained. Combined, 27% who were optimistic or those who believe Marcos can fulfill all, nearly all, or many of his promises were up in June 2024 compared to just 22% in March. In past social weather surveys, the percentage of those who expected all or most of President Garcia Pacquiao Arroyo's promises to be fulfilled was 19%, 5% for all or nearly all, 40% most in September 2001, and 23%, 8% all or nearly all, 50% most in August 2004. For President Benigno Simon Aquino III, it was 44%, 9% for all or nearly all, 35% most in September 2010, and 63%, 22% all or nearly all, 41% most in June 2016, SWS said. For President Rodrigo Duterte, it was 56%, 50% all or nearly all, 41% most in September 2016, before it ranged from 35% to 67% from March 2017 to June 2022, it added. According to SWS, the survey was conducted by doing face-to-face interviews of 1,500 Filipino adults, subdivided into 600 from Balancezon and 300 each from Metro Manila, the Visayas, and Mindanao. SWS maintains a sampling error margin of 2.5 positive negative 2.5% for national percentages, positive negative 4.0% for Balancezon, and positive negative 5.7% each for Metro Manila, the Visayas, and Mindanao. Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa said he is willing to face international criminal court prosecutors, but only if it involves being interviewed and nothing else. If they communicate with me, there is no problem. If they want an interview, they can interview with me. They can interview me anytime, but it doesn't mean that I bow to their jurisdiction, said de la Rosa in the Radio 630 interview. I just want to, if they want to talk, I will answer their questions, but it doesn't mean that I am regressing over their jurisdiction over us, he added. De La Rosa, however, stressed that it does not mean he is willing to cooperate with the international court should the investigators arrive in the Philippines. Cooperation is not the term. It's just that I just want to show amity or being a normal individual that if asked a question, we will not reply disrespectfully. I will answer, but it doesn't mean I will recognize their jurisdiction over me, De La Rosa explained. De La Rosa was the chief implementer of former President Rodrigo Duterte's rural anti-drug war campaign. He is among those mentioned in the Crimes Against Humanity complaint before the ICC. Former Senator Sonny Trillanes IV earlier said De La Rosa and four other former nationals of the Philippine National Police are now considered suspects in the drug war case against Duterte. Being suspects, most likely they would be included in the warrants of arrest to being issued later on, Trillanes earlier told Inquirer.net. The Department of Education DepEd said on Thursday that it plans to increase the number of administrative staff to further ease the non-teaching workload of public school teachers following the official opening of the school year 2024 to 2025. In an unabashed interview, DepEd Secretary Sonia Angara said the sector still lacks administrative assistance despite deploying 5,000 non-teaching staff. Our administrative assistants are being overburdened because others are catering to 3 schools, he said. The DepEd has yet to determine the number of additional staff as it is conducting a study on reducing teachers' administrative workload. We will ask for additional help in our manpower, but at the same time, we can maybe reduce our reports, Angara said, referring to non-teaching reports. Meanwhile, the DepEd chief said there is still room for adjustments as some teachers were reportedly being overwhelmed during the pilot implementation of the Matatak curriculum. There will be an adjustment period because it's still in a pilot phase. That's what's good during the pilot phase, because if you want to revise something, it can be easily done, Angara said. Overall, he said the DepEd only encountered minor issues during the opening of classes, considering the effects of the enhanced Northwest monsoon and severe Typhoon Karina. As of Thursday, 615 public schools have yet to open classes, affecting 454,082 learners in Metro Manila, Ilo's region, Central Luzon, and Calabarzon. The schools are expected to open their classes on August 5. To date, the DepEd already hit 83% of its target enrollment from elementary to senior high school level in all public and private schools nationwide. This accounts for 23,087,785 out of 72,722,835 learners, including 256,643 alternative learning system enrollees. The highest number of enrollees was recorded in Calabarzon with 3.38 million, followed by Central Luzon and Metro Manila with 2.45 million and 2.36 million respectively. It is now 12:11 in the afternoon, and we will have more headlines coming up right here on koolNews at noon. So stick around, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Cool News at Noon. Let's continue with the headlines now. The Philippines will not stop the International Criminal Police Organization, or known as Interpol, from serving a response from the International Criminal Court on individuals suspected of implementing former President Rodrigo Duterte's bloody war on drugs, according to the Department of Justice. We are not in the business of blocking any movement of the Interpol unless a policy is laid out, which of course will go against our international commitments, Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remula told reporters on Thursday. President Marcos has said that his administration would not cooperate with the ICC's investigation of the alleged extrajudicial killings in the drug war after the country withdrew from the Rome Statute, the 2002 treaty that established the court. The ICC's chief prosecutor, Rakim Kehan, has requested the assistance of the Philippine government to interview former Philippine National Police Chief, now Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, and four other former and current police officials in connection with his investigation of their involvement as suspects in the crimes against humanity and charged against Duterte. Saudi General Bernardo Guerrero said early this week that the government had no moral legal duty to assist the ICC prosecutor, but it cannot stop him from proceeding any way he wants. Removal pointed out that the possible arrest of individuals identified in the case through an ICC warrant would be very tricky because the Philippines remained a member of Interpol. The ICC and Interpol usually cooperate with each other, Removal said. Should any issues arise, the ICC will bring it to Interpol, he said. Once an arrest warrant is issued, it's the Interpol's job to serve it. Under the Interpol, we are an adjunct of the Interpol. He said, adding that there would be repercussions if the Philippines attempted to block its operations. He did not elaborate. Remula said the DOJ would look into the possibilities or the indications of dealing with Interpol on this matter. That scenario is what we need to discuss as a legal group within the government. But most of the time, 99% of the time, we respect the actions of the Interpol, Remula said. Under the Interpol Constitution, member countries are required to establish their respective national central bureaus to ensure consistent and active cooperation within the organization. The NCB is tasked with coordinating with various government agencies, their counterparts in other countries, and the Interpol's General Secretary. It remains unclear how suspects in the Duterte case would be arrested by the Interpol, as it has no law enforcement agents of its own. Former Representative Arnolfo Teves Jr., accused of terrorism and masterminding the murder of his political rival, was arrested by the police in Timor-Leste following a red notice issued by Interpol upon the request of the Philippines. The National Union of People's Lawyers, which represents some of the families of the drug war victims, said that the enforcement of an ICC warrant in the Philippines was not impossible. The PNP may still be compelled to enforce the warrant under certain circumstances, the lawyers group said in February in a joint statement with the group Rise Up for Life and for Rights. The PNP may be ordered to implement the warrant on orders of the President upon an extradition request out of committee or in compliance with international obligations, the two groups said. They also noted that the ICC had an agreement on data exchange and cooperation with Interpol and that it could be requested to provide information and share communications about fugitives. The ICC prosecutor has maintained that his inquiry into alleged atrocities perpetrated during the ruthless campaign against illegal drugs waged by Duterte was within the jurisdiction of the court from November 1, 2011 to March 16, 2019, or when the country was still a member of the International Tribunal. Guerrero said the ICC prosecutor could interview persons of interest via online platforms, phone, email, or in person, provided they have given their consent, but Kehan cannot expect that the Philippine government will facilitate it for him. In addition to De La Rosa, the others who are suspected of having secret involvement in the systematic killings during the anti-drug campaign were retired PNP Chief Oscar Albaliade, former Criminal Investigation and Detection Group Chief Romeo Rama Jr., former National Police Commission Chief Alberto Leonardo, and former PNP Chief Intelligence Officer Alazar Mata. Albayet on Thursday said he would only deal with the ICC's drug war investigation if ordered directly by the DOJ. The former PNP chief said there was nothing more to say to the ICC since the alleged drug war abuses were being investigated by Congress and the courts, and if it was, I'm sorry, and it was his personal decision not to cooperate in the investigation. Give me a second. Okay. Sorry, I'm really busy with doing something with because I have to but we will get into entertainment news in just a bit. All right. Now let's get into the entertainment news right now. Just weeks after Krishna Gravita's withdrew from the 2024 Miss Charm pageant, organizers of the international tilt announced that the competition would be held in the United States in August. But as it turns out, no contest will take place this month. The Miss Charm pageant took to social media on Thursday evening, August 1, to address contestants, national directors, partners, and esteemed members of the public. In the message posted online, the organization said, "We regret to inform you that the final event of the Miss Charm competition, originally scheduled to take place in the United States, will be postponed. This decision has not been made lightly, but it is necessary due to unforeseen challenges related to obtaining visas for many of our contestants." The Miss Charm organization only on June 30 that the 2024 competition has been scheduled from August 12 to 24 with Los Angeles as the host city. And that is it for Cool News at Noon. As always, you can get in touch with us at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. And we will be back with more headlines later with Cool News at 4 on its shortened runtime, which will air from 4 p.m. to 4:30, and and then 1 hour on Cool News at 6 and Cool News Prime Time at 9. Until then, I am Caro. Good afternoon.